Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Everyone for the Daily Beast who, like, I don't know, works in, like, the fucking basement of One World Trade being like, Stephen Colbert has a moment with fucking Nigella Lawson for the past 6 years. Guys who, like, their family trust spent $500,000 to get them this degree. They're like, all right, you can write one op-ed. And the op-ed is always like, Bernie Sanders acts like an asshat again. Like, I saw an oppo dump today that was it was definitely like a Biden oppo dump, right? Where it was
It's gotta be.
right, where it was like, oh, Bernie Sanders compared workers in Vermont to slaves, and the entire article was that he like evoked wage slavery.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, would put him in the same company as Frederick Douglass,
Yeah.
who said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
No, wage slavery is a slur now.
yeah, no, I mean,
and that was by that Daily Beast guy Scott Bixby. He's the next absolute clown I want to shout out. This is in Daily Beast this week. Bernie bros are loud, proud, and toxic to Sanders' campaign.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
they're so toxic that he's a leading national poll for the first time ever.
He's gonna win, man. He's gonna win. It's okay. Yeah, no, I mean, they sent the Keystone Cops to kill John Wick.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, taking this contract in 2020 is like the scene in Heat where the cops show up as they're coming out of the bank and they're like, doo-doo-doo, time to make an arrest.
Yeah, I think they got caught with their pants down. I think they really thought Warren was gonna.
Yeah.
She was going to solve the problem for them.
Right. They thought
Like, we don't have to take a firm anti-left line, but we can avoid Bernie by all.
Well, I don't even think
coalescing
they
around
thought Warren was going to win. They thought that Warren was going to effectively grief Sanders' campaign.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
To make it so that neither she nor him could win. But what it turned out was her supporters aren't really his. And she actually split Biden and Buttigieg's
Yeah.
support. And I think they thought this would kind of be settled by now. Should have given Diamond Joe more Dexys.
No,
That's
but you're
really
right.
how
Like,
you solve this.
they were asleep at the wheel in 2016, and they've done it again in 2020, and now it's January. Like I said, less than 2 weeks before Iowa, he's going up, up, up in every single poll and indicator.
Nowhere to go, but up.
He's going up and Biden is going down. And there's so many times, like we've joked about this. Now they're just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Get Bixby on the case with the Bernie bro shit. So let me just read a little from Bixby here. Senator Bernie Sanders has called their behavior disgusting. Would-be supporters of the Vermont Independent have cited them as the reason they can't endorse them. The guy he's referring to there is John Legend.
Yeah.
That's who he's talking about.
That would have been
If you lose
huge,
John Legend,
that would have been a huge get. I mean, you think Joe Rogan's big? John Legend is in every H&M dressing room in the country.
His campaign has even privately apologized to rivals for online pylons that cross the line into open harassment. And still, the Bernie Bro army marches on.
oh, damn right.
Straight to Berlin. That's where he's at. The internet has been perhaps the Sanders campaign the most useful tool for organizing the candidate's most fervent fans, whose ride-or-die loyalty to Sanders has long outlasted his first campaign for president. But like Star Wars, Rick and Morty, and Taylor Swift before him,
This is like your toy,
Sanders
Scott.
is grappling with how to channel the best parts of that support, the engine behind his massive rally crowds and commensurate fundraising numbers, as he is sequestered on Capitol Hill for the impeachment trial of Donald Trump, while discouraging a toxic wedge of fandom that threatens to distract from his campaign and turn off potential supporters. That fucking paragraph is so perfect, Matt. Because Matt, you're 100% right about this. These people could not be more not honest, transparent, like Kurt Bardella, that they view all of this as a TV show.
Yes, it's their stories.
And like when he talks about like the fandoms of Taylor Swift, Rick and Morty, and Star Wars, like Bernie Sanders is dealing with this same problem. Oh, you know those three things that are hugely popular in
right.
mainstream culture?
Yeah, their problem is that certain people are performatively annoyed by people who like them. It has no impact on their cultural.
One way to avoid that problem is to not be on Twitter 18 hours a day.
Well, yeah.
But I know that's difficult. I know.
Well, see, the thing is that like part of this is their aestheticization of politics, and the other of it is because they totally understand things through Twitter and being online. They honestly think that the Bernie bro thing is why Hillary beat Bernie last time. if you ask them, why do you think Hillary was able to hold off Bernie, they will say, well, we were able to remind people that his supporters were a bunch of bros. The reason Bernie lost at the end of the day is that he didn't run a real campaign until it was too late.
Yes.
Because he didn't think he could win. He was there to push her to the left and get issues out there. And they didn't think, oh, fuck, we could do this until like Iowa happened. And by that point, it was way too late to build a national organization that could make any kind of headway in later states. And so they got blown out in a lot of places.
Pulled off some very surprising upsets, too.
And if that fucking campaign had lasted like a couple, when you look at the polling trends, if that campaign had been a little longer, i.e. if he had actually started campaigning a little earlier, he could have fucking caught her. But in these guys' heads, they're tweeting about Bernie Bros all day to just their other idiot hysteric media friends is what fucking beat Bernie.
Bernie with a skeleton organization came within 9 points of Hillary in Cook County, one of the Death Stars of the modern Democratic machine. Like, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Like, look at what they had to do to fend him off in New York. Just like activate every scumbag machine politics trick they had here to make sure he couldn't win.
Going on here, Bixby writes, when Senator Elizabeth Warren accused Sanders of telling her in a private meeting that he didn't believe that a woman could defeat President Donald Trump in 2020, the Massachusetts senator feed was deluged with a plague of snake emojis, even as Sanders called for a de-escalation in hostilities. After former presidential nominee Hillary Clinton doubled down on comments in an upcoming documentary that nobody in Congress likes Sanders, the number of tweets calling her a bitch skyrocketed to new highs, according to an analysis by the Daily Beast. That just means he searched the term bitch on Twitter
he did.
and was like, I'm seeing a spike in traffic here.
By the way, I forgot to say this earlier. That whole nobody likes Bernie thing, it's so awesome that she said nobody likes him because obviously she was referring to in Congress. But in her mind, those are literally the only people who matter.
Right. And you know what the American voter hates? A brash outsider.
Yeah, who is hated by Washington.
Yeah,
They love Congress.
No. This is what is so fucking. What I love so much about it is like their big hit on him, the closing case. They're pulling out all the stops. Is that nobody in Congress or the U.S. Senate likes him?
Those wildly unpopular institutions that regularly like pull behind toenail fungus.
All right, so he goes on to use the example of John Legend, who had to tell the Bernie Bros to quit the
multi-millionaire Grammy-winning artist whose life resembles yours in no way.
Yeah. The guy who makes music for waiting rooms.
Yeah. The guy whose music you hear at the dentist's office. Like, so it goes here. Last week, performer John Legend cited Bernie Bros, who, though branded with the pejorative Bernie Bros, are in no way limited to just his male fans. So that just means like that huge number of young women who also support Bernie Sanders. Yeah, they're Bernie Bros too.
Not just women. I mean, it is interesting. Remember all the articles about how Bernie had no black support in 2016, which was just, I mean, like we talked about, the kind of the result of like a lack of name recognition and not running a real campaign until it was too late. Well, Elizabeth Warren, just dog shit. Dog shit black support. None. Like
Pete Buttigieg even worse. And it's like, interesting. Very interesting. So,
but same thing, just how a lot of those bros are actually women. A lot of those bros are black or they're anyone but white men. They're anyone but there's nothing about that.
So they're doing quite the disservice to Sanders as a reason he was backing Warren's candidacy. Try not to drive people away with your nastiness, Legend tweeted. I will happily vote for him if he wins the primary. Chill. In response, some users replied with the poop face emoji.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
They are, like I said, this is fiend shit. This is licking the baggie when you're fucking like, it's 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, it's real bad.
Yeah, no, they're jonesing. It's not working as well as it used to.
Moving on here, like the other thing that we were talking about last week is like when the snake emoji gate was happening and the CNN did their like ludicrous assist for Warren at that fucking debate.
Oh boy!
Like, Matt, I know you were concerned at the time because it seemed like whether this works or not, which it clearly didn't.
It did not.
Hugely backfired.
No one gave a shit.
No, not just didn't give a shit. I think it really turned a lot of people off Warren.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of Warren supporters who actually moved to Bernie. Not a lot, but like enough that like Warren is trending down ever since this thing happened.
I mean, if you earnestly do care about the future of the country, you know, to use a pompous and kind of empty phrase, but the way people think about it. And, you know, you're struggling with who to support, and somebody comes up with this fucking ticky-tacky bullshit that has nothing to do with any actual issue facing anyone's life. How could you not be like, oh, this is what you're going to do? This fucking bullshit? This is a court intrigue horseshit that like the Clintons do.
Oh, no, but I know you were concerned that like it just meant that you know, the real enemy, Joe Biden,
Right, that was
is
my
sort
concern.
of is skating away when, like, you know, this is the moment when that, like, everyone should, who, you know, it at least claims to be interested in defeating him, should be training their fire on, you know, his record, on his long public record of seeking to means test, adjust, or let's be honest, cut Social Security.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the thing. That I'm not even worried about that anymore, because it, like, what's happened is that the Sanders campaign has started counterpunching. I was worried for a second when Zephyr Teachout wrote that thing about how Biden and his family are corrupt.
Yeah.
And Sanders apologized for calling them corrupt.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have done that, because they are manifestly, openly corrupt. And I'll read another article in a second about that. But it has been so incredible to watch all of the Pinocchio counters, all of the fucking DC media people who fact check this stuff or have to talk about it, have to go out of their way to pretend like Biden hasn't had a 20 to 30 year career in public life, going on TV every other week, bragging about how he was one of the Democrats who would work with Republicans to cut Social Security.
Yes.
And let's not forget also that Obama, when he was vice president, tried to do exactly that in a grand bargain with the Republicans. And guess, you know who stopped that shit from happening? Not just the Republicans because they were too crazy, but Bernie Sanders has been standing up against, for the same time period, Bernie Sanders has been standing up consistently against any attempt to cut or downsize Social Security in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Biden has been loudly banging that drum back when this was the best, coolest thing you could do in Washington.